You know the feeling. It's 8 a.m., your lecture starts in 5 minutes, and you're speed walking across campus with an iced coffee in hand because it's a daily necessity. Whether it's a double shot espresso before class, a Celsius before the gym, or a late night monster to survive yet another cram session, caffeine has become a staple of the college experience. Hello everyone, I'm Alicia Guo, and welcome to Caffeinated and Stressed, the college student's lifestyle. In this episode, I will be answering the question, how does caffeine affect college students' stress and anxiety levels? And discussing how caffeine, one of the most normalized substances in college life, might be doing more than just keeping us awake. We'll dive into how it affects our stress and anxiety levels, hear real stories from students, and talk about what the science says. Plus, I'll offer some realistic ways to cut back without sacrificing energy or productivity. Caffeine is everywhere in college life. Walk into any lecture hall and you'll see iced coffee cups, Red Bulls, and energy drinks tucked next to backpacks and laptops. It's not just a drink, it's basically part of our identity. For me, it started in middle school with Starbucks Frappuccinos. I didn't even like coffee at first, but by junior year of high school, I was drinking cold brews and energy drinks just to feel awake during classes and club meetings. I even asked a few students through a casual survey what their caffeine habits look like. The survey was administered online through social media and group chats and received over 30 responses. It asked students about their daily caffeine intake, when they began drinking caffeine regularly, their reasons for consuming it, and whether they experience any side effects from it, like anxiety or sleep disruption. The survey also included questions about awareness and potential health risks, and whether students believe caffeine can be addictive. A full copy of the survey is included in the appendix. This data provides important context for my project by offering a real-time snapshot of how college students use caffeine and how it might be contributing to their stress and anxiety levels. Not surprisingly, most said they drink it daily, often multiple times a day. Some even admitted they drink caffeinated drinks just because they like the taste. Caffeine use has become so normalized that we often don't stop to question it. However, that leads me to my central question. Could caffeine actually be adding to our stress instead of helping us manage it? Let's talk about what caffeine actually does to your body. TED-Ed 2017 explains that caffeine blocks adenosine, a chemical in the brain that makes you feel tired as it builds up throughout the day. By blocking it, caffeine keeps you alert. It also increases dopamine activity, which can boost your mood, focus, and motivation. These effects are why caffeine can feel so energizing and why so many students rely on it to power through classes and assignments. But the benefits don't stop there. Caffeine can enhance alertness, boost memory, improve concentration, and elevate mood by increasing dopamine activity in the brain. TED-Ed 2017. Most people use caffeine to jumpstart their day, stay focused during long lectures, or push through late-night study sessions. According to Nunes 2024, when used in moderation, caffeine can genuinely be a useful and effective tool for productivity and stress management. These positive effects help explain why caffeine is so appealing to college students trying to stay on top of their academic and extracurricular goals. These benefits all sound like a win, right? But here's the flip side. Caffeine also activates your sympathetic nervous system, also known as your fight or flight system. This raises your heart rate, increases blood pressure, and elevates cortisol, the stress hormone. Fitzgerald and colleagues 2024. There's a reason caffeine helps with focus, motivation, and productivity, but there's also a reason it can lead to poor sleep, heightened anxiety, and even feelings of panic. The same study by Fitzgerald, Altenhoff, and Katterberg found that students who consumed more caffeine reported higher levels of anxiety, even though most believed it made them less stressed. That contradiction is key. We drink caffeine for the benefits, but we might be overlooking its negative side effects. Today, I have two guests on my podcast, Miles and Chloe, who shared their caffeine experience in my survey and are both avid caffeine drinkers. They both have stories of how over-consuming caffeine has negatively affected their college lives. Welcome, Miles. In a survey you filled out, you mentioned drinking multiple Alani Nus a day. Can you tell us what led you to start drinking so much caffeine?
Yeah, I started relying on energy drinks during my first semester of college. At first, it was just to get through the late nights, but then it became part of my daily routine. I'd feel anxious, have trouble sleeping, and sometimes I'd crash really hard, but I'd still end up drinking more the next day.
Do you feel like caffeine actually helps you stay productive, or does it end up making things worse?
At first, it helped me focus, but now I think it just makes me more jittery and unable to fall asleep at night. I still drink it every day, but I know it's not really helping long term.
Thanks for sharing that, Miles. And Chloe, you had a different experience. In your survey, you said you cut back on caffeine after trying it in middle school. What made you step away?
Well, I tried energy drinks because all my friends were drinking them, but I got super jittery and shaky. I don't really like how it made me feel, so I stopped for a while. Now I just have coffee occasionally.
Do you think people around you notice how caffeine affects them, or is it kind of just accepted as part of college life?
Well, I do think it's super normalized. Most people don't really even question it. It's like no one stops to think whether it's actually helping or hurting them.
These stories reflect trends I saw in my own survey. 90% of respondents say they know caffeine can have negative effects, but they still consume it regularly. That's how deeply rooted caffeine culture is in our daily routines. This mirrors the findings of Fernandez 2003, who reported on extreme caffeine consumption during finals among college students. Some students drank multiple sodas or energy drinks a day just to stay awake. According to counselor Tom Callicott, this kind of overconsumption doesn't just lead to poor sleep. It contributes to performance stress, where anxiety and exhaustion actually make it harder to focus and succeed academically. Let's talk about the A word, addiction. It's not one we usually associate with something as normal as caffeine, but according to Dr. Weisenberger, caffeine is considered a drug and it works like one, Mendy 2024. When you stop drinking it, you may experience withdrawal symptoms, like headaches, irritability, or fatigue. And many students don't even realize they're addicted because the signs are so normalized. Andrea Nunes 2024 from Texas Tech's RISE program explains that caffeine often flies under the radar as a mental health risk, especially when it's consumed excessively during periods of stress. She notes that students often exceed the recommended 400 milligram limit without even realizing it. Add to that the branding of energy drinks, sleek cans, fun flavors, bold fonts. And it's easy to forget how much caffeine we're really drinking. Celsius, Alani Nu, Monsters, these companies know exactly how to market to us. And because caffeine doesn't carry the same stigma as other drugs, students often overlook the real impact it can have on their physical and mental health. I'm not here to cancel caffeine. I still drink it, but awareness is everything. Try tracking how much caffeine you're drinking a day. Add up the numbers. Many of us are way past the recommended 400 milligram daily limit. Set a cutoff time so it doesn't interfere with your sleep. Maybe switch to decaf in the afternoon. Try a morning walk or hydration first before defaulting to coffee. Nunes 2024 recommends prioritizing your sleep schedule, taking a walk to feel more awake, or practicing stress management techniques to reduce anxiety when consuming caffeine as ways of reducing the harm of caffeine. Patasik, a school nurse cited by Mendy 2024, encourages students to reduce caffeine by a quarter at a time and become more aware of how marketing influences our habits. Caffeine can be helpful when used as a tool, not when it becomes the solution to every tired moment. It's not about completely cutting it out of your diet, but being mindful. So here's the bottom line. Caffeine isn't the enemy, but it also isn't harmless. It can be a great boost when used wisely, but if we rely on it too much, it can add to the very stress, anxiety, and fatigue we're trying to avoid. Before you reach for your next coffee or energy drink, take a second to ask yourself, are you drinking this because you want to enjoy it or because you feel like you need it to survive the day? Thanks for tuning in to Caffeinated and Stressed, the college student's lifestyle. I'm Alicia Guo, and I hope this episode helped you reflect on your habits and stress levels. Until next time, take care of yourself.